This is Matthew Boyd from Staccato in Launceston. This video is the first in a series on Wylde's back or broadsword method. Although not immediately apparent in Wylde's 1711 manual, he includes two methods of defence in his broadsword section. One is the general method of inside, outside, medium, St. George and hanging guards based on traversing footwork and slipping, the basics of which are taught in Wylde's Throwing the Guards drill. The other is an abbreviated method based on his inside and outside crosswise parries at Smallsword and his stand your line posture. The main features of the stand your line posture are the feet position, which should resemble a Roman I, a narrow stance or half body presented to the opponent, sinking the body somewhat low or hollow, and keeping the sword arm straight without bending the elbow. Now, Wylde stresses that if you maintain this body shape, you can use the crosswise parry to save your life at Smallsword and use the inside and outside guards to save your life at Broadsword, with of course the obvious rider that you time your action correctly. In this stance and maintaining an inside or outside guard, you are effectively removing all of the low targets from your opponent and allowing only one line of attack. If the arm is continued to be held straight, it is protected behind the shell or the basket and not an accessible target. Wylde says that while you're in this stance, as you change from inside to outside guard depending on your opponent's action, you need to bring your point almost vertical. This is Wylde's medium guard at Broadsword. At Smallsword, his medium is with the point directly at the opponent's breast. At Broadsword, the point is up. We see this from other sources as well. When changing from inside to outside guard in this manner, it creates three advantages. The first is that it adds some throw or momentum to the sword to give the guard some more authority, if rightly timed. Secondly, it makes your guard almost proof against falses and feints. Say you are waiting in an outside guard and your opponent falses a cut to the inside. As you lift your point through medium guard to come to an inside, you can quickly come back again to an outside guard. If you go from inside guard to outside guard without the high point lift, it takes longer to recover back to your original guard. The third benefit of changing guards in this manner is that if the opponent makes an error and exposes their arm in the making of their cut, you have the opportunity to whip in a time of the hand cut against them using your wrist and hand speed. Pretty cool. So when we're waiting in our outside guard and our opponent cuts to our open inside, we lift our point and throw into an inside guard. That's the defense for an inside cut. When we're waiting on our inside guard, we lift our point and throw to the outside. And from our ward, we throw a cut over the top of the opponent's sword, either to the inside or outside, depending on the ward or guard that we have made. Here we see Roland do something similar, though to be strictly Wylde, he would have his body lower and his arms straighter. So what shall we do about an opponent that wants to fight in this method? One option is to do what George Silver recommends and make all your fight at the extended hand of the opponent. Wylde's solution to this situation would be to slip the arm and allow the attacker's sword to swing past the point of contact and to cut afterwards. We'll spend more time looking at Wylde's slipping in later videos. The other way of dealing with this extended sword position would be to cross the opponent's point, bear their sword offline, and then strike at them afterwards. In this situation, I would suggest that you drop your point and bring your sword underneath the opponent's, gathering it up in the manner of Wylde's orbicular circular parry at Smallsword, and then strike or thrust over the top of the opponent's sword, as we've seen in the previous instruction. So that's Wylde's stand your line method at Broadsword. It gets you up to speed quickly, as it's based almost completely on his Smallsword stand your line method, and it's almost boringly easy to defend yourself in this way. It's really effective. We're going to be looking at his full method in later videos. Please look at any of the other videos I've done on Wylde's method. They'll give an important background to this video and to future ones on his broadsword method. Thank you very much.